This episode of Evolved is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped have all the tools for your manscaping needs, like the Lawnmower 4.0 electric trimmer or the Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer.
Manscaped were good enough to send us their Performance Package 4.0. It contains the Lawnmower 4.0, which is actually a very impressive little razor. It's really nice and stylish. It's waterproof. It has an LED light on it. It has, I think, a 90-minute runtime on a full charge, ceramic replaceable blades. It comes with two little guards with two sets of adjustments, so you've got 4 different cut lengths between them. The little charging dock with it is USB-C as well. I was very impressed with this. You could take it in the shower and everything and not worry about it.
I liked it as well. I like it's, like you said, very stylish. It works in the shower, which is super convenient when showering in a hurry. It also, I used to have one of the cheap ones you'd get at a store, and it sucked. And so the second I started using this, it was like a night and day difference. So it essentially glides over my face whenever I'm shaving my face.
Yeah, they also include the Weed Whacker 2.0, and that is a nice little ear and nose hair trimmer. Again, it's styled very similar to the Lawnmower. It is not waterproof though, so please do not trim your nose hair in the shower. It is USB-C rechargeable as well. You can get replacement blade heads off the website. I unfortunately have reached the stage in life where I now require things like nose hair trimmers, so this was my first experience of a nose hair trimmer. It was a tickly new experience, but it did the job quite well.
I don't need to use those just yet, but I'm in my 30s, so like at some point I will. So it's there when I need it, when I will need it, and I guarantee you there will be some point in my 30s when I will need it.
Yep, that day comes for us all, unfortunately. The set also includes their Crop Preserver below the waist deodorant and Crop Reviver below the waist toner. I haven't used them yet. Both smell very nice. I did the usual thing and opened both bottles and had a good sniff. I have not had occasion to use them yet, but I will be giving them a go at some point.
Oh yeah, they smell fantastic. I mean, like you said, I haven't used them yet either. I've given them a good smell, but I feel like if I go on a date, and I tend to go on a lot of dates, so so I'll have to use it when I go on my next date.
We will get an updated review shortly. The set also includes a set of Manscaped boxers. I have not tried these out because I ordered them when I was a bit bigger, so they are now a size too large for me, but they are a nice high quality set of boxers. Seem quite well made. Can't fault them in the slightest. I think you've actually been able to wear yours because you are the size you ordered.
Yeah, I got the size I ordered. They are fantastic. They match the same style as all my other boxer briefs that I currently wear, so they just sit right in my lineup, and I haven't had any issues with them. Fantastic quality build.
Also included with the set, you get a nice little Manscaped travel bag as well. It's a little toiletries bag. I have filled that with all of my stuff for the gym. It is now there. It travels with me regularly for that and work. It's a very nice little bag.
Oh, it's a fantastic set. I used it when I went to Miami, so it came with me. It sits in my gym bag now, and it's a lot more compact than my old one, which was probably twice the size, and I used about half the space. So if you've been thinking about upgrading your manscaping game, then why not use the discount code EVOLVED at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping, and try some Manscaped goodies today, because your balls will thank you.
Welcome Spartans to Halo Book Club, part of Evolved, your home for Halo. Halo Book Club goes beyond video games and covers Halo's extended media and lore from the novels, short stories, comic books, and now website novellas. We're doing everything.
We'll do it all.
Yep. I am your host Aaron, and with me today, you heard his voice there, it's David.
Hello everybody. I thought it was pretty funny because on the last book club, we always see Lucas points out that we always say the same thing. We're almost finished, and then here we are, still going.
But like we're really close now. Unless they drop a novel of short stories, we are up to date. There are 2 novels coming, but they're not out yet, so we're technically finished. If that counts. I think it counts.
Yeah, totally.
This book club is on the Waypoint Chronicle story, Winter Contention. You may or may not remember that. That came out alongside a Halo Reach themed event for Infinite. And we're here to chat about it. But before we get started, we will do the socials. Welcome to the show. Halo Book Club is part of Evolved. We host a variety of shows. We've got Podcast Evolved, Mission Debrief, Bills with Blocks, HCS Pro Talk, Halo TV Plus, and we used to do Halo Headlines, and I haven't done one in a while because it's just been a chore.
There are no Halo headlines, Aaron. It's okay.
There's not a lot. Yeah, like we scrape up the monthly news now, and it's like, nah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully things pick up soon. You can learn more about all of our shows by going to the website, evolvedhalo.com. If you're already a fan, we would ask you to take a minute to leave us a review on your podcast service of choice. I would also like to take a minute to thank all of our patrons for their continued support. Your contributions help make everything we do possible. Thank you very much, guys. If you're not already subscribed and would like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/Halo Evolved to learn more and find out about the variety of rewards and benefits such as early episodes, unique access to swag, access to our soundtrack. We do new art. The patron-only Discord channel if you want to chat to us. And more importantly, we have the patron-exclusive podcast, I Would Have Been Your Podcast, which has mostly just turned into me and Ian having old man rants about things. That's quite a substantial chunk of it at this stage.
Yeah, it's very funny.
The last episode was quite ranty as well. We spent about 35 minutes before we actually got to the topic of the show. Talking about stuff, so this may just become, I think I said it on the episode, it may just become therapy time with Aaron and Ian. We'll see how that goes. And finally, we encourage all of our listeners to support Audible, where they can enjoy the growing collection of Halo novels all in one place, along with thousands of other novels, guided wellness programs, and more. Use the URL audibletrial.com/podcast evolved to learn more and start your free trial today. And I'm going to recommend an old favourite as an audiobook. I am back listening to the Expanse novels. Go give them a listen. The Expanse is fantastic. Highly recommend it.
And I have the first book, but I haven't started it yet.
Oh, I love them. So good. I also can recommend the Max Brooks book Devolution. You may remember him from things like the Zombie Survival Guide and I think World War Z, that's his as well. Devolution is about Bigfoot killing people in the mountains.
Ah, cool.
It was a fun little story, so had that as well. And on E. Lucas's recommendation, Galaxy's Edge, another military sci-fi novel, was pretty decent as well. So there's a couple of recommendations for you. But we are here specifically to talk about a Halo story.
Yes.
Like I said in the intro, this is called Winter Contention. It is a short story that was put out on Waypoint. The author is 343 Industries because it doesn't list a specific human. No idea who it could be. Like I said, published on Waypoint. It's available on the website as a PDF and as a YouTube audiobook. It was released on February 8th of 2023. That must have been when the event was at the start of the... That's not that long ago and I don't even remember, so that tells you like my grasp on time at the minute.
Yeah, same. I could have sworn this was last year, but I think we were saying before the show there's more than one like Halo Reach themed event, so that could be why. I might have merged them both to one in my brain.
Yeah, there's the original season that came out, and season 1, that's where you get your armor core, and that's the one I'm still rocking to this day. And there have been a couple more. There was, I think, like a winter themed event at one stage that had like a Reach theme to it, and then another one after that. So this came out with that. It is 26 minutes in audiobook form. It is several scrolls of the mouse in every other form. And the summary goes as follows. December 2551. Though the Covenant invasion of Concord has seen a rare UNSC victory, the Spartans of Noble Team find themselves stranded in a remote hinterland town. Though the Covenant's orbital presence has been neutralised, the remaining alien survivors have regrouped and prepared to make a devastating final stand. With dwindling time and no reinforcements, Cat B320 comes up with a daring plan to do what Spartans do best and turn the tide. It's up to Tom and Lucinda to make it happen. Like we said then, this takes place December 2551. This is 7 months before the Fall of Reach begins in July of 2552, and that runs until August 2552. The location for this is the Alabaster system, the planet is Concord, and the particular little village in the hinterlands is called Scathy. And the main characters in this are Carter, June, Kat, George, and the two... Well, I was going to say two red shirts, but only one of them is a red shirt, and not in this story. So we've got Lucinda, A344, and we've got Tom, A293. So Lucinda was Noble 4. She would go on to be replaced by Emil, and she doesn't die in this story, she just gets reassigned at the end of the battle. And the other Spartan is Tom, A293. He is designated as Noble 6. And if you're thinking, oh, I know Noble 6, it's not that Noble 6. This Tom unfortunately dies a couple of months after this event on April 22nd, 2552 in the Battle of Fumirol? With that? Fumirol? We'll go with that. If you're thinking, what is that? That's the Deliver Hope trailer for Halo Reach, the one where Kat gets shot and loses her arm, and the other Spartan takes the nuke and goes up into the ship and blows it up. Quite a good trailer.
This is good, and I always liked, we knew about Tom already. Like, that character had been named, and we had known that was the original Noble 6. So it was good to see him pop up again, and he's getting kind of front and center role. You get a flavour of his personality here, as well as this new Spartan, Lucinda. So it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's always nice to get little touch-ups on these things. I do think that that trailer may be one of the best Halo trailers. That and the ODST trailer.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Little cinematic masterpieces. David, do you want to take us through the quick points of the story? Like, there's not a big pile to it, so we'll just
No, there isn't. I mean, I actually really like it. I was pretty impressed with this. I loved how they put it out, the formats. So looking on a website or a nice PDF or the audiobook, and I know you listened to the audio. Was it like, and it's much longer than I would have expected, so was there a bit of production value in there, or is it just somebody reading?
No, it's not like a dramatic version of it, it's just someone reading.
Is it someone we know?
It's a 343, Horispus, I think it might be.
Oh, it's not, is it? Oh, cool.
While we chat, I'll pull up the last script because he also narrated the other short story.
That makes sense. He's the new community manager now, so that kind of makes sense. He's probably putting out this content. That's cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen him speak in person, so No, it's just him reading the whole thing, and there's two little brief musical interludes that divide the story up, and then there's the little bit at the end that's like the communication letter, and that's it. So it's just 26 minutes of audiobook, your standard format.
That's good. I mean, the story beats are pretty good. Like, it just sets up and introduces all the characters of Noble Team that are here, as well as the two that you might not be familiar with. They're just at this village, kind of protecting it. They kind of outline the situation that humanity has actually done a really good job of defending the planet. The Covenant are stranded on the planet, all their ships are gone. So now they're just kind of like, the Covenant are just all about killing humans for the sake of it. They can't get off the planet, so they're just fighting for the sake of fighting now. They're in a kind of desperation, which is kind of a cool setup, I think. It's really nicely done. Pretty much this village that has a whole bunch of refugees from other places on the planet holed up in it. They have no equipment, they just have one warthog, and they're pretty much kind of like, how do we defend ourselves against this wave of Covenant that are coming? And then they describe something that totally caught me off guard, and it's described as the Drower. I might be saying that wrong, it's the Nordic. You know it from Skyrim, it's all the enemies that you fight in the tombs and stuff like that.
I think off the top of my head in the audiobook it's Draugr.
Draugr, lovely. I should have asked that question since you just listened to it. Perfect, that makes sense. The Draugr. And I was like, what the hell is this thing? So even before I was finished reading, the paragraph was introduced and described, I started Googling it. I was like, what the hell is this yoke? It is cool. Man, I wish we had seen this thing in the game. Like a big mobile fortress, Uber tank, troop deployment. It sounds awesome. So it was really well described. So what I could find about it is that it was originally conceived by Isaac Hannaford, who you should know, the massive concept artist for Halo, under the working name Siege Engine during the production of Halo Reach. At the time, the vehicle was to be the centerpiece of a cut level later in the game, and is seen in several pieces of concept art. Hannaford designed the vehicle based on the HK tank from Terminator, which is kind of dope. Though the vehicle, again, was brought back and canonized in Halo Encyclopedia, the 2022 edition. So you should know I've bought this, but I haven't opened it yet because I'm waiting for a Halopedia show. So that's kind of cool that it's actually in there and is obviously prominently featured in the short story. So I thought this vehicle is pretty damn cool. How it's described and like how they tackle it is really cool. Sorry, go on.
When you look up the images of it, it looks fantastic. Like it is like you can very much see that sort of like a Terminator vehicle vibe, you know, sci-fi future big tank thing, but it's really the Covenant's answer to like the Mammoth.
Yes, that makes sense.
This is very much that sort of same vehicle. It's a step below a Scarab. Like this is, and actually I would be honest, I think for the most part this would be, you'd probably want this more than a Scarab in a lot of situations. I feel like a lot of battles on a lot of planets would have gone a lot better with this.
Yeah, I really liked it. And then there's a great line here, a great setup of June and a sniper scope just watching the troops come. So there's this big vehicle, the Draugr, some wraiths, a bunch of ghosts, and there's a bunch of dudes on foot and some banshees. And he's kind of like, oh yeah, this fight's over, we're goosed, we have nothing. So I'll just sit here and wait for the rest of Noble Team to realize how bad the situation is, and then I'll wait for the 4 words that I need to hear. And then he said, I don't have to wait long. Carter comes on the air of the radio and then says, Kat has a plan. I thought that was awesome. Thought that was one of the great little moment in this story of setting up these characters and again building up how great Kat is. And then they go on to have Kat driving the Warthog on purpose in a really efficient and excellent style. And that's when the story becomes a fantasy.
As you will see in the script notes, I put beside Kat as a character description, a bad driver regardless of what the story says. I do not buy this. This retroactive making her out to be a fantastic driver.
I love that, and obviously totally done on purpose, which is, I think is great. So Kat drives this Warthog, which is a Warthog that is like, it's modified and it's fully enclosed. It has tank tracks instead of wheels because this is a snow planet, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's those like the buggy things in the Thing that they drive around in, those sort of like 4-tracked enclosed cab, keeps you warm and toasty. I'm like, I kind of want one of these in multiplayer.
It would be cool. It would be cool. So that's kind of cool. So that's probably why she's driving it so well, that it doesn't actually have wheels. It's tank tracks. So she pretty much, they elaborately defeat some ghosts, and then Kat and Rose drive this Warthog into the troop transport, essentially, and by like shooting off a ramp and landing inside of it, which is pretty cool. And then they get out and just pretty much board it, take it over, defeat the Covenant, and then let the Covenant try and take it back when they realize how screwed they are. And then like they pretty much, it just cuts to, obviously there was a big fight and they killed everybody. It's just Tom, Rose, and Kat. Pretty much kill everybody, save the day. That's kind of it. And there's a little bit of a story back and forth of like, oh, some banshees got to head to the town, but George will just take them out with his big fucking gun. So that's grand. They don't seem too bothered by that at all. And then they cut to like Pelicans showing up to kind of like take this vehicle away so they can study it and stuff. And there's a bit of banter back and forth. And then they have to, okay, this is lore in the past, so we'll have to like edit some stuff. So then they have an excuse of Rose essentially getting reassigned out of Noble getting sent to another place for a fight, and Rose actually survives the whole. She's a Spartan 3 from Alpha, and she survives the whole war, so she's still kicking around today, which is interesting. That's more or less the story and kind of where it ends. I mean, Rose in there, I think we knew in the past, or actually not too long ago, well, there's a lot of data that came out recently on Halo Reach and stuff like that, so the Noble team was actually supposed to be much bigger, so we knew that already. We knew the characters were cut, including Tom. So Rocinda was actually supposed to be here. She was supposed to be a bigger role in Halo Reach. There was 7 members alongside Tom, so obviously the team got cut down, So Tom was replaced by you, the player character. Rosinda got cut from the game entirely. They were still in canon, however. Obviously, we got Tom was in the Deliver Hope trailer, which is dope. And Rosinda was actually still in some of the Noble Team performance reports and various kind of bits and pieces that are like personnel files that Bungie released about Emil, and kind of like, oh, there's like a communique conversations of we can swap Emil out for Rosinda if we need to, based on the situation that Noble Team needs to handle. So that's kind of cool. They gave her a sassy personality. She had concept art, so we had loads of stuff for her. And she remained one of the name options for customized loadouts in Halo Reach, which is kind of interesting. So she is here, back in canon, which is kind of interesting. So I like that. She's got a good tag, A344, so that apparently came up in Halo ODST as like an Easter egg, potentially, of like a license plate on a vehicle somewhere, which is very random. But obviously she's back in it, and like she said, both her and Tom's armor loadouts are available to be unlocked in Halo Reach. I don't know if you can still get it after the fact. Maybe that... Oh, you probably can't play like the battle passes from that time still and unlock them. So that was good. The two characters, Spartans, worked really well together. I liked the backstory of Noble, and I thought this was actually a really cool, very quick, snappy little fight with a badass vehicle through into it. That was very good. What did you think, Aaron?
I quite enjoyed it. It has the feel of all the cutscenes around a Reach mission. Like, it feels like a Reach level.
Yeah.
If this started off with them all talking on the side of the mountain, and then you have to like do the driving bit and board the vehicle, and then it cuts to maybe like the bit with George and you're taking out the Banshees and then you destroy this thing, like I could have totally seen this just being bookends of a mission.
Yeah.
I think that would have made total sense. It's a fine little story, like it's totally grand. It's nice to get like some mentions of these Spartans in the lore instead of just going like, oh, Tom's that guy who blew up, we don't know anything about him. Yeah, I can't really complain about this. It's perfectly fine little bit of additional lore to go with the rest of the Reach stuff. I would love it if someone could like mod this into a mission in Master Chief Collection. If anyone wants to just like build a mission from scratch and create this, I'm here for it. Is Halo Custom Edition still on the go or something? Like I feel like there's a way to do this.
Yeah, PC games never really die.
Like we have the concept art for this vehicle. We can build it. That's all you really need. And stick some tracks in a Warthog and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, very true.
I don't think I've anything overly... Like, I've nothing critical to say about it. It's just a fine little story. It's a few minutes. It's like a short Fracture story. And it's just like, here, we give you a little bit of information and you're away on.
Now, there is the little communique at the end, which I think is just supposed to imply that Rose is still alive. She references out 266. I should have checked this. That's probably a Spartan call sign we're supposed to know.
What is the... Hang on, what's the actual reference?
Oh, that's June. Which also makes sense because we know June is still alive. So it's interesting that
Was June not 293?
No, he's 266. A266, yeah.
I wonder, was that... I pulled that off Halopedia. Was that number wrong?
You think? Is it wrong? What am I looking at? Halopedia, yeah, June 8666.
Oh, maybe I typed the wrong number in. No, I tell you what I did. I've read wrong and I typed Tom's number in twice.
Oh, okay.
Tom's 293 and June is not. That makes perfect sense then. We can't have two 293 Spartans.
Yeah.
Stupid Spartans. Yep, you can chalk this one up to me. Yeah, no, she's having a communication with June, basically like, you're still alive, and I would assume, does it give a date on that communication?
I'm just after closing it down, so I should probably be able to find that if I click on this button, and it should be in my downloads, because I did open it PDF format, just for funsies, just to see what it was actually like, because I've never read one of these before. Had you read the other one before?
I did the other one as an audiobook as well, yes. So did that for the... Here we go, I've got the story. Scrolling to the bottom. I'll edit this out. It does not give a date because I would like to know I would assume, I'd hope this is modern day, because we don't actually know if June's alive or not, because they blew up the station in
That's right.
Halo Infinite.
Yeah, they did.
I'm hoping he's alive.
They wouldn't kill June off screen because they could have done that in Halo Reach. Like, what's the point in bringing him back? And he's just existed in the peripheral of lore, but in a couple of small stories. So,
I would hope he's still alive, but I would hope this is current modern day, and he's hiding and rounding up a crew.
I think that kind of makes sense. There's probably something in here that we can say, like the path and attention cross par. Like, these are probably code words that might be able to date this thing. And then it's talking about, I live and breathe. I'd ask you how long you're keeping tabs on me. So I'm presuming it's to give us the sense of there's a good bit of time has passed. But obviously she was reassigned for covert ops, and that's just what they said. So it's kind of interesting that he's still keeping tabs on her and has obviously calmed her to like do a meetup. So I'm presuming that is current date and time.
I hope so. I want Noble Team Mark II. Nobler Team. Noble Team Part 2. This time it's personal. Any final thoughts before we bounce?
Nope. I like it. I liked it. It was good. It was a good little short romp. I appreciate a 17-page PDF that you can read quickly.
I would be alright with another one or two if we touched on other areas of Halo's lore. I would have no objections to a few more of these scattered about.
Yeah, I don't know if they draw enough attention to it, but by this one anyway, I quite liked it. So I'd say they're
but that's what we're here for.
That's exactly it.
The lore podcast will bring you the lore. Well, guys, I think that'll do us then. Yeah, go have a listen, have a read, and enjoy it. Thank you for joining us for another book club. This is us officially up to date until the next novel lands, so we are 100% finished. It's fantastic. Love it. Like we mentioned at the top of the show, every episode of all of our shows is available at evolvedhalo.com. If you go there, you can also find links to our Discord, Facebook group, Patreon page, Xbox Live Club, and all of our contact information. Once again, special shout out to all of our patrons for supporting the show and help making everything possible. Head to patreon.com/Halo Evolved to learn more. And finally, if you would like to leave us a voicemail about this episode or any other topic whatsoever, you can give us a call on 205 Evolved. That's 205 386 5833. And with that, I have been your host Aaron, and until next time, evolved.
Evolved!